Miyamoto Musashi died broke, owed money, owned nothing, lived in a cave. But his legend? Priceless. Debt doesn't destroy warriors, it forges them. And if you're sitting there right now, crushed under credit cards, student loans, car payments, personal debt, feeling like you're drowning, I need you to hear this. You're not broken. You're in the middle of something the Japanese understood 500 years ago. They call it Kintsugi. It's the art of repairing broken pottery with liquid gold. The cracks don't disappear. They become the most valuable part of the object. The bowl doesn't hide its damage, it celebrates it. Because the break is where the beauty begins. Your debt is your Kintsugi moment, and you're about to learn how to fill those cracks with gold. But first, we need to understand what debt really is. Most people see debt as a curse, a weight, a chain, a failure. The credit card bill that keeps you up at night. The student loan that follows you like a shadow. You think it's proof you made bad decisions. Wrong. Debt is feedback. It's your life telling you you tried to grow faster than your foundation could support. That's not weakness, that's ambition without structure. And here's the part no one tells you. Every empire was built on debt. Every great expansion, every bold move, every kingdom that rose to power. They borrowed, they leveraged, they took risks. The difference between the empire that collapsed and the empire that conquered? Discipline. The ones who survived knew how to turn borrowed time into earned power. The ones who fell, they borrowed and never built. So let's talk about your debt, not as shame, as strategy. You're $30,000 in, maybe $60,000, maybe more, and every finance guru on the internet is screaming at you to pay it off fast or consolidate or snowball method. Stop. Breathe. Here's what Musashi would tell you. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. The goal isn't to eliminate debt as fast as possible. The goal is to transform your relationship with money while you eliminate debt. Because if you just pay it off without changing who you are, you'll be back in the same hole in 5 years. Kintsugi isn't about gluing the bowl back together and pretending it never broke. It's about making the break part of the design. So here's the first principle of financial Kintsugi. Principle 1. Own the break. Stop running from it. Stop hiding it. Stop pretending you're not in debt. You are in debt. Say it out loud. I am this much in debt. Not as confession, as declaration. Because the samurai didn't fear scars. They earned them. And every scar told a story of survival. Your debt is a scar, and you're still standing. That makes you dangerous. Here's what happens when you own the break. You stop lying to yourself. You stop avoiding the bank account. You stop ignoring the statements. You look at the number, the full number, and you say, this is the weight I'm carrying. Now let's turn it into strength. Because here's the secret. You can't repair what you won't acknowledge. Kintsugi masters don't start by pouring gold. They start by gathering every piece of the shattered bowl. Every fragment matters. So grab a notebook, open a spreadsheet, I don't care. Write down every debt, every balance, every minimum payment, every interest rate, all of it. This isn't punishment, this is reconnaissance. You're mapping the battlefield. And once you see the full picture, you'll realize something. It's not as bad as the story you've been telling yourself. The monster in the dark is always bigger than the monster in the light. If this is hitting different, do me a favor, hit that like button, because this isn't motivation, this is war strategy, and we're just getting started. Next, we're going to talk about the gold, not literal gold, the discipline, the system, the method, because owning the break is step 1. Fill in the cracks with gold, that's where you become unstoppable. But you need to understand something first. The gold in Kintsugi isn't cheap. It's not easy. It takes time. You don't rush it. You don't panic. You don't swing wildly hoping for a miracle. You move with precision, with patience, with purpose. Just like Musashi in his 61 duels. He didn't win because he was the fastest. He won because he was the most deliberate. Your debt is your opponent, and you're about to learn the strategy that turns the fight in your favor. Let's talk about the gold. Not the metal, the method. Because you've owned the break, you've mapped the battlefield. Now comes the part that separates the warrior from the wanderer. Most people think the answer to debt is speed. Pay it off fast, sacrifice everything, live on rice and beans, sell the car, move back in with your parents, burn it all down to get out. And you know what happens? They get out of debt, and they're exhausted, resentful, bitter, broken in a different way. They survived, but they didn't transform. Kintsugi doesn't work that way. You don't smash the bowl again trying to fix it faster. You repair it with precision, patience, and purpose. Here's the truth most gurus won't tell you. The speed at which you pay off debt matters less than the person you become while doing it. Because if you just get out of debt without building discipline, systems, and self-mastery, you'll be back. Different debt, same pattern. So here's the Kintsugi debt strategy. 3 principles, 3 veins of gold. Master these, and you don't just eliminate debt, you transform into someone debt can never touch again. Principle 2, the gold is discipline, not speed. Musashi didn't win 61 duels by swinging wildly. He won by controlling his breath, his stance, his timing. He mastered the pause. Your debt repayment is the same. You need a system. Not chaos, not panic, not throw every dollar at it and hope. A system. Here's the framework. Step 1. Establish the foundation. Before you pay extra on any debt, you need $1,000 in an emergency fund. I don't care if you owe $50,000. I don't care if the interest is eating you alive. $1,000. First. Why? Because debt doesn't crush you when you're prepared for life's punches. Debt crushes you when your car breaks down, you have no savings, and you throw it on the credit card again. That $1,000 is your shield. It stops the cycle. Save it. Guard it. Don't touch it unless the roof is literally caving in. Once you have it, you move to step 2. Step 2, the debt kata. In martial arts, a kata is a series of movements practiced until they become instinct. You don't think, you execute. Your debt kata is this. List every debt from smallest balance to largest. Ignore interest rates, ignore monthly payments. Smallest to largest. This is the psychological warfare method. You're not just paying off numbers, you're killing opponents. Pay minimum on everything except the smallest debt. Throw every extra dollar at that one. When it dies, you take its payment and add it to the next one. Snowball, momentum, victory. Each debt you eliminate is a duel you win. And with every win, you become more dangerous. But here's where most people fail. They try to do this while keeping the same lifestyle that created the debt. You can't fill the cracks with gold while still breaking the bowl. This is where discipline becomes non-negotiable. Not deprivation, discipline. There's a difference. Deprivation is punishment, it's suffering, it's white-knuckling through life. Discipline is intentional sacrifice for a greater purpose. Principle 3. The warrior's budget. Musashi lived on almost nothing. By choice. Not because he was weak. Because luxury made him soft. And soft warriors don't survive. Your budget is your training ground. Here's the method. The 50-30-20 Kintsugi split. 50% needs. Rent, food, utilities, minimum debt payments. The foundation. 30% discipline. Extra debt payments, savings, building your future fortress. The things that make you human. Relationships. Growth. Small joys. Notice what's missing. Stupid spending. The $7 coffees every day. The subscription you forgot about. The impulse buys that numb the pain.
Cut the fat. Not forever, but for now. Because here's the truth. Every dollar you waste is a day longer you stay in debt. Every dollar you redirect is gold in the cracks.
And listen, I'm not saying live like a monk forever. I'm saying delay gratification like a warrior preparing for war. You're not giving up joy. You're trading temporary pleasure for permanent power. The bowl will be whole again, but this time it'll be stronger, more valuable, unbreakable.
If you're still here, you're not average. You're not looking for quick fixes. You're building something that lasts. Subscribe, hit the bell, join the order. Because Sword and Coin isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who choose discipline over distraction. Here's what happens when you follow the debt kata with discipline. Month 1, you kill the first debt. $800 credit card, gone. You feel something you haven't felt in years, control. Month 4, second debt, dead. $2,400 personal loan, eliminated. Now you're moving faster. The snowball is rolling. Month 9, third debt, $5,000, destroyed. You look at your list and realize you're winning. People around you are still making excuses. You're making progress. But here's the secret most people never learn. The gold isn't just in paying off the debt. The gold is in who you become while you do it. The discipline you build, the patience you master, the control you reclaim. Because when the debt is gone, you'll still have the system, the habits, the warrior's mind. And that is what makes you unstoppable. You can have the perfect system, the perfect budget, the perfect plan, and still fail. Why? Because debt isn't just a math problem, it's a mirror, and most people can't stand what they see in it. Let's talk about the fracture lines, not the ones in the bowl, the ones in you, the shame, the identity, the fear. Because here's what no one tells you about debt. It rewires how you see yourself. You stop being someone who's building a life. You become someone who's in debt. That's your identity now. Every time you meet someone new, every time you think about the future, that whisper in the back of your mind, you're broken, you're behind, you're failing. And the worst part? You start making decisions like a broken person. Here's how it shows up. You avoid checking your bank account because the number hurts. You don't invest in yourself, courses, books, skills, because I can't afford it. You say no to opportunities because the risk feels too heavy when you're already drowning. You shrink, not because you're weak, because the weight of shame is heavier than the weight of debt. And this is where most people stay trapped, not in the debt itself, in the identity of debt. Musashi understood something most people never learn. Fear is not the enemy. Hesitation is. He wrote in the Book of 5 Rings, "There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within." Read that again. Everything is within. Your debt didn't break you. Your belief that debt defines you, that's the break. So here's the psychological kintsugi, the gold you pour into your mind while you're repairing your finances. Because if you don't fix the fracture lines in your identity, the debt will come back. Different form, same pattern. Fracture line 1, shame. Shame says you're bad because you're in debt. That's a lie. You're not bad. You made decisions with incomplete information, or you hit circumstances outside your control, or you were young and stupid. Welcome to being human. The Japanese don't hide the cracks in kintsugi, they highlight them. Because the break is proof you survived something. Your debt is proof you tried to build something, to grow, to expand. It didn't work the way you hoped. Fine, now you know better. Here's the reframe. I am in debt and I am becoming the person who masters money. Not I'm in debt and I'm worthless. Not I'm in debt and I'll never escape. I am in debt and I'm using it as my training ground. Fracture line 2, comparison.
Social media shows you everyone's highlight reel. The vacations, the cars, the houses, the financial freedom posts. And you're sitting there with $40,000 in student loans thinking you're losing. Stop. You don't know their balance sheet. You don't know their stress. You don't know what they sacrificed or what debt they're hiding. Comparison is poison.
Musashi never compared himself to other samurai. He compared himself to yesterday's version of himself. Am I sharper than I was last week? Am I more disciplined than I was last month? Am I closer to mastery than I was last year? That's the only comparison that matters. Your financial kintsugi isn't a race against someone else. It's a becoming.
Are you more financially disciplined today than you were 30 days ago? Have you killed one debt, built one new habit, saved one extra dollar? Then you're winning. Fracture line 3, the identity trap. Here's the dangerous one. You've been the broke friend for so long, it's comfortable. It's your excuse, your shield, your story. I can't go out, I'm broke. I can't invest in that, I'm in debt. I can't take that risk, I'm not there yet. And somewhere deep down, you don't actually want to give up that identity. Because if you're not the broke one, who are you? You're the one who wins, and that's terrifying. Musashi had nothing, owned nothing, died owing money. But his identity wasn't the broke samurai. His identity was the undefeated. Your debt is temporary. Your discipline is permanent. Your past decisions are data. Your next decisions are destiny. So here's the shift. Stop saying, I'm in debt. Start saying, I'm in my financial dojo. You're not broken, you're training. Every payment is a rep. Every budget is a sparring match. Every no to stupid spending is a strike. And when you shift the identity, the behavior follows. You stop avoiding the bank account. You start checking it daily. You stop hiding from the numbers. You start hunting them. You stop feeling shame. You start feeling power. I want to know, what is the one identity you're shedding today? Are you done being the broke one, the victim, the one who can't? Drop it in the comments. Burn it. Let it go. Because here's the truth. The gold in kintsugi doesn't hide the cracks. It makes them the most beautiful part. Your debt isn't your shame. It's the proof you're becoming someone unbreakable. You've owned the break. You've applied the gold. You've healed the fracture lines in your identity. Now comes the part no one talks about. What happens after the debt is gone? Because here's the trap. Most people fight their way out of debt, collapse at the finish line, and then nothing. They go back to the same habits, the same mindset, the same patterns. They survived, but they didn't ascend. Kintsugi isn't about survival. It's about transformation into a masterpiece. Let's talk about the long game, the strategy Musashi lived by, the one that made him legendary. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. It means this: your debt is small. Your discipline is everything. The debt will be gone in 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10. But the person you become while eliminating it, that person builds empires. Here's what most people don't understand about wealth. Wealth isn't about the money you have. Wealth is about the money that can't leave you. You can win the lottery and be broke in 3 years. You can inherit a fortune and lose it all. Because money without discipline is just temporary numbers. But discipline without money, that's a weapon that builds everything. So here's the final principle of financial kintsugi. Principle 4, the masterpiece mindset. When your last debt is paid, you don't celebrate by going back to chaos. You don't reward yourself with a new car payment. You don't exhale and stop the discipline. You redirect it. The same intensity you use to kill debt, you aim it at building wealth. The same system that got you out, you use it to get ahead. Here's the wealth-building kata. Step 1, the emergency fortress. Remember that $1,000 emergency fund you built? Now you expand it to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Not for fun, for freedom. Because here's what changes when you have 6 months of expenses saved. You can't be held hostage. Bad boss? You can walk. Toxic job? You can leave. Opportunity that requires risk? You can take it. You become dangerous because you have options. Most people stay trapped in situations they hate because they're one paycheck from disaster. You're building a fortress that makes you untouchable. Step 2, the wealth engine. Once the fortress is built, you start the engine. 15% of your income goes to investments, not speculation, not gambling, long-term wealth building. Index funds, retirement accounts, assets that grow while you sleep. This is where the Kintsugi becomes legendary, because you're not just out of debt, you're building a machine that creates money without you. The debt taught you discipline. Now discipline teaches you multiplication. But here's the part that separates the good from the great. Step 3, the offensive. Most people play defense their whole lives. Save, budget, protect, survive. Winners play offense. Once you have your foundation, emergency fund, investments growing, you go hunting. You invest in yourself, your skills, your value. That course you couldn't afford before? Buy it. That certification that increases your income? Get it. That side business you've been dreaming about? Build it. Because here's the secret to real wealth. Your income is your greatest tool. You can save and budget your way to stability, but you can only earn your way to wealth. And the person who learned discipline by eliminating $50,000 in debt, that person can learn to earn $50,000 more per year. Same skill, different target. Musashi didn't just master the sword, he mastered calligraphy, painting, strategy, philosophy, because he understood mastery in one area creates mastery in all areas. The discipline you built paying off debt, that's the same discipline that builds businesses, that negotiates raises, that creates opportunities, that turns your life into a work of art. Here's what happens 5 years after you start this journey. Your debt is gone, your emergency fund is full, your investments are growing. But more importantly, you're a different person. You don't panic when life punches you. You don't avoid your bank account. You don't make decisions from fear. You move like Musashi in a duel, calm, precise, unstoppable. And here's the beautiful part. The debt that almost broke you, it became the foundation of everything you built. The cracks aren't your weakness. They're the gold veins that make you priceless. Because anyone can be whole and unbroken. That's easy. That's common. But to be shattered and choose to rebuild yourself with gold? That's legendary. So let me ask you something. 5 years from now, when someone asks you about your debt, what are you going to say? Are you going to say, yeah, I had debt once, still stressed about money? Or are you going to say, I had $50,000 in debt. I turned it into the best thing that ever happened to me. It taught me discipline. And discipline taught me everything else. The choice is yours. The debt is just the break. You are the gold. If you made it this far, you're not here by accident. You're not looking for hacks. You're not looking for shortcuts. You're looking for transformation. And that's exactly what Sword and Coin is about. Philosophy, finance, warrior mindset. We don't do motivation. We do mastery. Hit subscribe, smash that bell, join the brotherhood, because the next video drops soon and we're going deeper into the philosophy of wealth, the strategy of power, the path of the financial warrior. This isn't the end of your journey. This is where you become the masterpiece. Turn your debt into gold. Become Kintsugi.